Hey, freedom seekers! Welcome back to Set Yourself Free, the podcast where we share stories, strategies, and mindset shifts to help you break free from the 9 to 5. And most importantly, to create a life you're obsessed with. I'm Eugenia, and I'm super excited for this episode because redefining success has been one of the biggest things in my journey. If you've ever felt like success is defined by someone else's rules, promotions, titles, salaries, today's episode is definitely for you. Because here's the truth: success isn't climbing a corporate ladder, success is different for everyone, and you have the power to define it for yourself. So, grab your 9.5 pH glass of water, your favorite notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive in. By the end of this episode, your view of work, money, and freedom will be completely transformed. So, the things that you will hopefully take away is why the traditional definition of success may be holding you back, how to redefine success in a way that energizes you and fulfills you, and of course, practical steps to start building a success path that's fully aligned with your life, not your boss. Okay, let's get started. A few years ago, I was chasing the corporate dream. Promotions, titles, bonuses. I kept changing jobs to get more salary. I don't know if this sounds familiar, but that was my life. I thought that's what success meant. And for a moment, it felt good. I was achieving, moving up, doing everything right. But underneath, I felt drained, uninspired, and quite empty, to be honest. I realized something crucial. Climbing the ladder didn't mean I was climbing towards happiness. It meant I was climbing towards someone else's idea of success. Have you ever felt that way? Like you're achieving but not really thriving? I remember very clearly sitting at my desk, staring at my calendar packed with meetings, thinking, is this really what life is about? And honestly, I don't know your age. Probably you're between 20 and 40 years old if you're listening to this, but I was not even 30 and I was already thinking like, oh, I look forward to retiring and being able to travel the world and have time for myself. I mean, come on, that's too long. But when my wake up call came and I got fired, it was terrifying, but it did force me to ask myself, what if success meant something different? What if it didn't need to depend on someone else's approval or even a paycheck? That question really changed everything for me. So, here is the truth: success is not about a nice office, a big salary, or even a fancy title. Success is really about energy, freedom, and impact. So, doing work that energizes you, that makes you feel alive, not drained, having time for what matters most, and that could be family, health, travel, personal growth, your pets, literally anything that really matters to you. And also creating impact, helping others, giving back, doing something that's meaningful. I've had great salaries in the corporate world, and that's probably why it took me almost 5 years to leave it. But it wasn't more money I was chasing after all. Still, there's a limit of what you can earn as an employee. And I mean, you can go up and you can be a director, but still, there is a cap, honestly, as long as you're an employee. And I always wanted to create an extraordinary life for myself. I just didn't know how to. So I'm so glad I started building my freedom when the opportunity presented itself. One of the most important lessons I've learned: when opportunities come to us, we need to be open enough to at least explore them. And I'm saying this to you because you're listening to this podcast for a reason. And it would be such a shame to delay your freedom for years just because you're too scared to say yes. The first yes is what sets your whole journey into motion, after all. And I did it, and you can do it too. Let me tell you a bit more about my old definition of success. It literally was getting the next promotion. I wanted to become a manager at work. I remember that, like, oh, I really want to manage someone. Now I'm like, oh my God, why did I want to do that? But also, it was earning a six-figure salary, right? All these things that, if you look into them, probably don't mean much, but it's what you think you're aiming for, having a director title, right? Wow, so impressive. I thought climbing the ladder was the only way to the top, basically. And also, something I've realized is when we have these titles or someone introduces themselves, they always tell you what they do for a job. And it's so funny how we make that our whole identities. But today, my definition is completely different. My success is not a job title anymore. It's freedom to choose how I spend my time. It's having the energy to be fully present with my family, my partner, my friends, and it's building a business that creates an impact without draining my soul. That's my new success definition. And once I had this clear, my entire journey become more focused and intentional. And one thing that I'm going to say to you is that this will keep changing. We achieve more things and we want more in life, and circumstances change. People become mothers and fathers, and priorities change. But always keep thinking about how you define success right now. How you can go to sleep and be like, today was amazing. I can't wait for tomorrow. Okay, let's come to the mindset shift. Mindset is everywhere, and we also need that to redefine success. So, let's talk about the first shift, and this is stop comparing yourself. And this is a good one for if you're an employee or if you're in a business like mine, we love to compare ourselves to others. But your path, my path, they're all unique. Someone else's title, someone else's money that they're earning doesn't really reflect their worth or your worth. So, a little reflection for you. Who are you comparing yourself to? And how does that make you feel? Another thing that's very important is to measure progress, not permission. Don't wait for a promotion or someone else's approval. Keep tracking your wins. We've talked about this, but honestly, it's such an important thing to do. And think in terms of energy. Ask yourself, are you gaining energy from what you're doing or are you losing it? Let energy be your compass. It will change your life, really. And align income with impact. Like money is a tool, it's a great tool. So, how can you work to create value for others while sustaining your freedom, right? Yes, we're the center of our own world, but we can do so much for others too. And that's the beauty of it. Okay, if you're still with me after this mindset shifts, I invite you to reflect a bit further on them because they really are important. And this is just a very quick review. But let's talk about other people. And my business partners have been going live with me in some interviews, and I've been asking them how this has been changing for them. Like, what did they think success was before? What it is now? And one of the most eye opening insights I got is that it's transformed so much, and the incredible shift they've made, it's really eye opening. And I'll give you an example. Some of them came in thinking success was something only for other people, like famous or big salaries. Like, imagine thinking success is not even for you. Like, I don't even know how that feels because I've never felt that way. But over time, they realize that it's not about comparison or competition. It really is about being yourself, creating a life where you feel fulfilled, however that is and whatever that means to you, and that you can be proud of the progress you're making, not just someday in the future, but right now. Because after all, the only moment we have in life is right now. Others, just to give different examples, as you might relate to some and others not, but they thought that the corporate ladder was the only way. Climbing it, like when they would reach the top, they would be happy. When they discovered that that's not real success, it's a very big slap on the face, really. Like, okay, what do I do now? I've climbed, I've worked hard, I've done everything I thought that I had to do. But then they realize there's other things now that they want to be fully present as a parent, for example, or create meaningful memories with their children, or just more time to go out and be in nature instead of stuck in an office. Like, building freedom, flexibility, and joy is so important, and you just don't have to sacrifice other things to do it. Hearing these stories really reminded me that success isn't one size fits all. It really is deeply personal. And the most powerful lesson, you can define it for yourself and start living it today. Hearing the stories really shows that we're all different. But let's face the reality. We can create our own definition of success and make it happen. So, let's talk about a very important thing, and that's the cost of waiting to create that own definition. We've talked about how we redefine it and how our new life would look like, but what if you don't do it? What is the true cost of waiting for the right time or waiting for the promotion to feel finally successful? The cost is your energy. And as I said, energy is everything. It's the exhaustion you feel at the end of a long day that keeps you from spending quality time with your family. It's the snapping at home when you're just tired and not really happy after a full day at work. It's the dreams you push off because you're too busy building someone else's. The cost is your joy. It's watching life from the sidelines, actually, instead of fully participating in it. It's feeling a little spark, the one that you have inside you dim, day after day, because honestly, you're not used to creating something that lights you up. And the biggest cost, it's your time. The only thing you can get back. Every day you wait is a day that could be spent building a business that energizes you, creating a life you love, and feeling a deep sense of peace and purpose. Your life is not a rehearsal. And in the end, the biggest regret isn't failing. It's looking back and realizing you never even tried. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. Remember, today's episode is all about redefining success. Not someone else's idea, but your own. And of course, taking actionable steps towards the life you really want is something we're going to start doing here right now. So, let's do an exercise together. Listening to a podcast is great, but what matters most is what you do with what you're learning, with the information you get from here. Let's take action right now. Grab your notebook and write your current definition of success. You can get back to it after the podcast, but just write current definition of success. And whatever that is right now, if it's a great salary, a title, someone else that you think it's super successful and you want to be like them, please write it down. There is no judgment here. Sometimes, I had never even thought about what my definition of success was. It's something that I just got from others. So please reflect on that. Number two, write your new definition of success. So journal about it. What a successful life feels like to you. Not your family or society or your boss, like just for you. If you could do anything. And if that is to move to the countryside and have two Highland coos in your back garden, please write it down. I know I would love to have that. But honestly, it is so important that write something that lights you up, that makes you smile. And finally, audit your current life. Examine your work, your habit, your routines. Where are you spending energy on things that don't really serve your vision and where you want to go? I would love to know your new definition of success. So if you want to share on Instagram, please tag me or send me a DM and share with me. I love seeing how people's definition of success changes when they do this exercise. And please go back to it after you finish the podcast or pause the podcast here and make sure to reflect on this. I hope the exercise is useful. And again, it's not in a once in a lifetime exercise. As you grow, as you develop, circumstances change, this definition will also grow and develop with you. And that's the beauty of it. You just get to keep rewriting it. This definition is yours and it has to make you fired up and really excited every time you read it and think about it. Okay, now that you've taken the time to define your success and plan the first steps, let's talk about how to protect your progress from negativity along the way. Because honestly, it will happen. This is what I like to call handling the naysayers. So, you've done the work, amazing. You've defined this new vision of success. That's all your own. You're feeling energized, you're ready to start building it. But what happens when you tell the people in your life? You might hear things like, are you sure that's a good idea? or that sounds risky, or even why can't you just be happy with your job and stop wanting more? Remember, most of this doubt isn't coming from a place of malice. It really is because they care about you. And their fears are about risk and uncertainty. They see the world through their lens, not yours. And at the Tony Robbins event, we talked about the human needs or wants, and certainty. So being certain of things was a very big one. So again, it's totally normal. Let me just share some simple strategies to help you navigate the doubt of others. Number one would be very clear on what you want, because then nothing will come in your way. And that's what I call your why. And really thinking about why you want what you want, and that it comes from your heart and fires you up will help you keep going. Okay, so, an important one, don't feel the need to justify. You don't have to give a 10-minute presentation to everyone telling them why you want this, okay? You just need to keep it short and go for what you want. Also, number two, let progress speak for itself. The most powerful response to skepticism is action, really. You don't need to argue your case. You just go and show them what a beautiful life you're creating. And then they'll just see you transform. They'll see your energy. They see how you show up and they'll understand. It doesn't mean they'll want to join you in that journey, but they'll see how you're glowing. And finally, protect your energy. Not everyone needs a seat at the table when you're talking about your dreams. It's okay to limit how much you share. And when people are being negative around you, again, leave them. They're doing it out of a place of love, but your freedom journey is for you. And the only approval you need is your own. Keep that in mind because it really is super important. And I know that we love them and we really care about their opinion, but in the end, we only have ourselves. And that's what really matters most. And that's why a lot of inner work needs to be done. And we have so many limiting beliefs. I'll cover those in further episodes. Okay, if you have listened this far and now you're thinking, I want this too, it sounds great, but I don't know where to start. I want you to know that you're not alone. This is exactly what I do every single day. I help ambitious action takers to grow their high ticket affiliate business, creating freedom, income, and energy while keeping their job and transitioning gradually. So, providing mentorship, actionable strategies, a supportive community, it basically means you don't have to figure it out alone. And the most beautiful part is we can build these new definitions of success together. They won't be the same, but I'm sure there's a lot we can help each other with. So you can send me a DM on Instagram. And if not, if you straight want to go into the action, please go watch my free web class. I tell you a lot more there. You can go to www.discoverwitheugenia.com and then you can learn how to take the first steps already. And honestly, the best thing you can do really is start building a business that lights you up and design a life you love because we only get one. If this episode inspired you, hit subscribe so you never miss a new one. Share it with a friend who needs a mindset reset about success or who are defining success in all the wrong ways and it's not making them happy. Next week, we will have a very exciting surprise, so make sure to not miss it. And if there's any topic you would like me to talk about in the future, send me a message. You've got this, freedom seeker. Let's turn ambition into freedom. And remember, only you can set yourself free. See you next Tuesday.